One island per monkey type. No cheating. Yes, there's more than enough space to put more than one of each type down. You wouldn't cheat, would you, right? You wouldn't cheat. Don't ever play workshop. That's right, we're going to see if we can complete a chimps game on this map with only one monkey on each of these islands over here. So what I'm thinking of here is the means of hopefully getting a tier 5 or a level 20 or so on each of these islands. But if not, then we'll do the best that we can with the resources that we have at our disposal here. It's just going to restart that scenario because that was an awful miss there, Boomerang. We'll take this Boomerang up to a 022 and then we're going to think about our wonderful hero Etienne here, because we're going to need some camo detection for all of our towers here. Because what I'm thinking of is putting down a few towers, but by default they can't detect camo. But with Etienne, we will be able to give the entire map global camo detection. And here we go. We got Etienne down onto the field and hope that you don't evade this game with your kind here, alien. I don't know what you're thinking of in that dome of yours. You may think that's a knife, but this is a mechanical knife. Here is the first camo of the day, and Etienne at this given point in time is the only thing on the field that can pop camo balloons. You get the gist. If we want all of these towers to be tier 5, and each of them have got to be relatively cheap, like permacharge is not too cheap, but it's not too expensive. But when it comes to like military towers, I think that's like the most difficult outside of snipers, because you could just go for like elite sniper or elite defender, but then you left yourself wide open with what kind of tower could cover your other needs. Because with this Boomerang here, it's probably the most balanced tower outside of being able to detect camo balloons when you go all the way up to permacharge, but it still lacks that little bit of pierce. So I'm thinking of a big old artillery here. Round 33 going very well. Etienne popping all of the yellow camos. First a green camo balloon and then yellow camos followed with some red camos. I swear Ninja Kiwi hates me because every single kind of new featured tower, new featured balloon that comes out has to be yellow. What about the very back of the map here? We have ourselves the Sentry Expert here. You will be a Sentry Champion. It's honestly one of my favorite towers, especially when you combine it with lots of buffs, because then you can also increase the production rate of said turrets alongside their own attack speed and whatnot. Turbocharge, gonna need that for the first Moab of the day here. Middle path does more damage to Moabs anyways with the bionic Boomerang upgrade. I just love being able to attack incredibly fast for 10 seconds or so. There goes round 39, now round 40, and there it goes. Now we have level 8 of Etienne, which means every single thing on the map can potentially damage DDTs. Let's get that big boom going off. Nobody is going to say no to a big boom. Explosives are actually as well alongside fire. They are the best ways to dealing with a problem. If the problem is still there, give it even more fire and boom. I think for our magic island here, we're just going to settle with a sun avatar. Because of the fact that, well, the sun avatar can essentially act like a tier 5 tower. Like, come on now. The Sun Avatar is an incredibly powerful tower by itself. And give it camo detection, like let's say with Etienne, and outside of purple balloons, is really comfortable against everything. As ever with any custom map scenario, there will be details in the description of this video, including the code in which you can type in or just Control-C and Control-V into the challenge search thing, and then you'll be able to get what you need. And it shouldn't be too hard to find this one because it is literally only one Only one tower per type on each island, no cheating. That shouldn't be too difficult to search. Am I right? I don't know now. But Etienne is now at level 10, which means we now have their UCAV ability. Round 59, camo leads. No issues here because of that we have the permanent camo section on the field, where otherwise we would have nothing to pop them with. The FV of the day here, and give you the turbocharge ability, and that goes down. I wouldn't say it's burnout, but sometimes I would rather do anything else than create a video. Not that I don't enjoy creating videos, but sometimes when it comes to a particular day, I would just rather not make a video whatsoever for a channel. I feel like if I try and create a video on a certain day where I'm not particularly feeling up to it, but it feels like I'm just going to let you people down anyways to enjoy watching my content. And I'm thoroughly grateful for each and every single one of your support, by the way. Like, I'm always incredibly grateful for every single new subscriber, for every like, for every nice comment, also constructive criticism comment that comes my way. But sometimes I would rather do anything else than make a video on that particular day. You know, sometimes I have a very long day at work, and the last thing I want to do is strain myself even more by trying to think up of a very difficult scenario in order to try and complete. So in this scenario, we're not trying anything fancy. We're just literally having the only limitation of, well, being on chimps, and also being a scenario where we can only fit one, well, only have one tower per island, and it should be very clear as to like what each island represents. Primary because of the blue background here, the green leaves here for military, the purple leaves down here magic, and the orange leaves support, obviously leaving the anomaly of this island here. So yeah, that's how things are in this scenario. But then again, we could do a scenario where we try and only fit like primary towers and only go for primary towers, or only go for, let's say, towers on this central island over here, or something along those lines. Towers only within a limited space within a map. On chimps, obviously. I feel like the internet has been a big contributor towards a growing problem with society nowadays, and the fact that is, you can't really display any criticism whatsoever when it comes to something without people being overly offended about said criticism, because some people cannot distinguish the difference between criticism and, like, say, insulting or bullying or anything along those lines. I feel like the distinction between constructive criticism and just outright insulting or bullying should be very clear, especially like if it's like a face-to-face conversation and the criticism that you're given is also down to your tone as well as the words that you use, and the tone in which you say your words is just as, if not even more important than the words themselves, because you could be having a little bit of a laugh with a co-worker or anything like that, but then if somebody comes along who has absolutely zero sense of humor, they're probably thinking, are you serious? What the hell are you talking about? Are you literally going to do that? And I'm like, no. Do you listen to what I'm saying and how I'm saying it? It's like, no, of course not. If I say I'm going to do X and Y and then think that somehow in the morning there's going to be a new headline of me literally committing that said thing, then obviously then you would have something to be concerned about, but obviously not, because it is satire. It's not serious. But I feel like some people just cannot distinguish between satire or jokes and actually meaning what you're saying. Now, I would like a perma-charge at some point in the near future, hopefully before round 80, but not everything is going to go according to plan, because remember, this is Bloons Tower Defense 6 and anything can happen in this game, including the big one being Pierce capped, which is pretty stupid. Like, blocking out criticism has always been something that people have done, but I feel like the internet has just strengthened that idea that if you can just block something out for long enough, it will eventually go away. And anytime when there's like any sort of conversation to talk about which may be not always positive, some people like to think that, well, you're steering the conversation away. This is about Bloons Tower Defense 6, which is not about this thing or that thing. You shouldn't talk about that said thing because you're alienating your viewers. But the thing is, right, is that not only do people come here to watch a video on a particular subject, they also want to, let's say, learn about that particular content creator or anything like that, you know, how people think, how people feel, because the content in itself is very important. But imagine watching that kind of content from somebody who may have, let's say, questionable thoughts or something along those lines. They have beliefs or something that is incredibly heinous for a particular target group or anything like that. You can't just duck your head down and think that that is not a problem. Like, there's certain problems in life you have to confront, otherwise the problem itself only grows. Ignoring a direct thing like that only ever aids for one that bullies. And we live in a society where sometimes only people that bully actually get anything at the end of the day, because society does not want to deal with the problem. They just want to put their heads in the sand and just move on with their day. But on the flip side, I do see that people see videos like this as some kind of escape from reality. So that is also perfectly understandable as well. I just realized our Sentry expert over here has barely done anything. I'm pretty sure there's going to be around 98 a moment where we're going to definitely need a Sentry champion in order to clear up some excess balloons that may try and escape the track here. Come on, ZMGs, give me your best shot. I have probably one of the best towers in Balloons Tower Defense 6 on the track here. The Permacharge with Red Hot Rains is one of the best towers in this game when it comes to the amount of damage that they do, the rate of fire in which they fire their ability, fire their neutral attack, default attack in, and then just to make things even beefier, for a short bit of time, you can increase its attack speed. I've forgotten how to speak there, even more for a little bit of time. It's like, it is outside of camo, it really is one of the best towers. And I keep saying that, but I do believe that, honestly. I'm sure many other people will agree here. Ah, dearie me. The life of one when one needs to try and think of something to perform. See, we still need that there and there. So, let's see. Go away, DDTs. I do really wish that Etienne had a different voice line for bads over ZMGs, because I think it has the same voice line for both ZMGs and bads, which is not huge, well, not unique in a way, but still it is an alien mothership. It's just one that's bigger than the other, or maybe all of them are just motherships, big old behemoths that carry so many inside them, just like alien motherships. Etienne is really a hero that is really weak early game, but is really powerful late game. Like, not powerful like Adora, or powerful like Corvus, or powerful like some people would say Quincy, but powerful enough to really stand on its own and be able to get a 2 megapops on a lot of maps. I'm just going to look this up right now, actually. 2 megapop chimps, Etienne. Etienne has to be able to get 2 megapops currently on 38 maps, which is pretty wild, honestly, to say the least. Most of them are beginners, obviously, but for me, it's like some maps and some scenarios, I think, yeah, that is really improbable to try and get. Like, how the hell can you get, let's say, a base mortar done? Now, this has been done recently because of a new find that people have been exploiting, using the condor in such a way so that you can pick up a balloon, put it to, let's say, the very beginning of the track, but if the Merle class balloon is at a beginning part of the track, then the condor does not attack that balloon, but it only chucks Merle class balloons back to that beginning part of the track. But if they are there at a time, then they don't attack that Merle class balloon, making it a means so that you have a second chance of being able to pop that balloon right in there and there. And that's how, like, the first Balloons Master Alchemist 2 megapops run was achieved, by using a giant condor so that when we get to, like, let's say 80% of the track, then you can literally put the motocross balloon at the very beginning of the track again. Really, really cool, but also really, really specific, and it doesn't work on every single map throughout the game. So let's say on Workshop, you wouldn't be able to use it because there isn't really a beginning of the track in which you can exploit, because it's not next to the end of the track. Like Workshop, for example, the beginning and the end of the track are on opposite sides of the screen, and there's not really any conjoining parts aside probably from the Moab path, and with the Moab path being able to use the track extensions so that you could pick up that Moab pass balloon and then put it back at the very beginning of the Moab track. But that's really niche in of itself. Let's see. Century Champion is now up. Do we need it? Do we need it? Do we need it? Oh, poor old Century Champion not doing that much, honestly. Yeah, I love the Sun Avatar, honestly. It's really powerful. Like, this is a really powerful tower in of itself. It's so powerful, in fact, that it can do a 23 megafox. That's how powerful it is. Come on, Century Champion, pop it, and that just leaves the bad of this scenario. We have Gatchanoy, Sherlock Holmes, Alien Etienne, Ultra Mega Giga VTSG, and Fix It. I love Wreck-It Ralph, honestly. It's one of my favorite, like, animated films that there are, honestly. I really like it. Okay, bad. Are you gonna go down at some point? Thank you. And ZMGs and those are done right there. So obviously the permacharge was going to get the most amount of pots there because of this particular forming of islands here. Like if support and primary were switched, then you could probably see the results flipped round. But again, this is a really powerful tower, but this is only powerful because of its turrets. And Etienne obviously bringing the rear with their support, and many old drones in the sky up here, or UFOs, the best UFOs around, which obviously cannot be buffed by an overclock because overclock does not buff sub towers, although it does buff the production rate of said sentries. So that in itself is a buff, just the fact that you can get more of them. Anyways, folks, hope you will enjoy this little scenario. Please check this map out for yourselves by typing this little code in, or typing this string of words in, exactly, including the comma, by Pookiemonkey. And let me know what you thought of this video down in the comment sections below. And do you want to do a really difficult scenario with this? Because this is definitely a throwback to FNAF 4. Guess a content creator. It's Markiplier. It's Markiplier. Thank you all so much for watching, everyone. And let me know what other custom maps you'd like to see me look at in the future. Because there are so many custom maps on here. And when it comes to these accolades, I'm probably going to be one of the more unpopular people by saying this, but I'm not... I don't see the appeal of it, honestly. I just really don't see the appeal of rewarding monetarily people with a creative map. Like, I think the amount of likes and hearts in it, and well, completion rate doesn't really matter, honestly, but the I think the organic sharing of said map, so if people love it, then they will just love it and not be forced to like it because of either, let's say, a particular creator's made a map. So therefore, I love that little like superhero monkey there on that map. Hold on, it looks like there is something there. Hold on, I'm just gonna look at this quickly. No, it's a butterfly. It must be a butterfly. Honestly, this is a beautiful map, by the way. I was making it look like something in the background, but I think that's just a butterfly. Yeah, it is one of those. It's just his wings are kind of closed in on that, honestly. Honestly, the because of the fact that you can like report a map saying because I don't like it is not really a justifiable way to report a map. It's like offensive visuals. Yes, I can see why. Offensive language, I can see why. Hidden areas, obviously I can see why. Interactables, I can see why. These two, I don't see, like these bottom three, I don't see why they should be a reason to report a map. Like if a map is too easy, then surely it should be one of those that would be like a survival mean. So if you want to do a scenario on, let's say, the longest possible custom map, but report it because it's too easy, then is it really a justifiable way to actually provide some kind of way to report them? Anyways, this outro has been on now. Thank you all so much for watching, everyone. Take care of yourselves.